WebSocket is an advanced technology that makes it possible to open a two-way interactive communication between the client and the server. This has a wide application in the integration domain and is a very widely used protocol. And as expected, Ballerina provides first-class support for WebSocket clients and servers. Let us get our hands dirty and see how this works in practice. Let me create a new directory for WebSocket server. You can use this using the UI, graphical user interface, or you can do it using the command line. And let me cd into this and let me initialize a Ballerina project. The best thing about Visual Studio is you can use this command, give the folder path to open the Visual Studio code in this project, and then I can delete this default created file and I can create my own Ballerina file. Let me create a WebSocket service, and this service would be an echo service, so let me say echo. I can say echo, and then let me import this module, HTTP module. Now it has already 3 resources. The onOpen resource will be triggered as soon as a connection is made, and the onText resource will be triggered when you get text messages to your WebSocket server, and the onClose message or resource will be called as soon as the connection is terminated by the other party. If you yourself terminate it, it won't be called. If it is terminated by the other party, it will be called. And this caller represents each client connection to the service. A service will be created for each client connection, so this will represent the client connection for the service, and this is the text data, and this represents whether that WebSocket frame received is final or not. That is, we have a frame called continuous frame. If it is a continuous frame, this won't be final, otherwise this will be true. So I can have a service config for this resource, and I can say WebSocket service config, and then I can specify the path that will be this resource will be located. I can say in the slash, and then I can set an idle timeout, that will be, let me say, 20 seconds, and then I can here I can print connection step. I can say I can import, and then I say print, and I can say connection established for, and I can say the call ID of the client. This will be a unique ID for each connection. I can format it using Ctrl+Shift+J in Visual Studio Code, and I can push some text back to the client saying welcome. This is the same as this final frame. This says whether you are going to send a continuation frame or not. If you set it to false, it will be a continuation frame till you set it to true. So we have to handle the error. I have a code snippet here that I will copy to handle the error. Here I have this. I need to import this log module. Then I will handle this error using my function. And then I can, this is an echo server, so I will simply print this text and then echo it back, and I can echo the value. I can do this same thing here. So I'll be echoing this data, and then sending failed in on text, and connection, I can say connection closed here. And I can print the caller ID as well. So we can have 2 more resources. Let me add the 2 other resources as well. We can have the on idle timeout resource that will have only the caller. Here if the connection is open, I can check using this parameter. I can close this connection. So I can give this a reason. And then I can ignore this value. If you want, you can specify a timeout, and then I have to handle the error. And then I can format this file. Also I can add another resource called on error. This will have error as the parameter along with the caller. I can say, I can handle the error saying like connection, network or protocol error. Normally the network or protocol errors are received by this resource. If there are other errors like resource failure, that will be reflected by the resource exiting, but if it is a network or a protocol error, it will be requested in the on error resource, and as soon as on error resource is hit, the connection will be terminated. Now within few minutes we have this WebSocket server which shows how easy is it to develop a WebSocket server using Ballerina. We can run this file using Ballerina build command. Once this has been built, I can say Ballerina run this server.ballex to run the server. So it's very easy to develop a WebSocket server using Ballerina. Now let's go ahead and create the client. Let me create another directory. And let me cd into it, and I can initialize the Ballerina project, and I can use the Visual Studio command to start the Visual Studio Code. I will delete this default file and I will create a new file, client.bal. Then I will use the client in the main function, so I will create a main function, and then I will create the HTTP WebSocket client. WS client, equal new, and we need to specify the URL of the server. It will be at localhost 9090. So I have created the client. I will import this module, and then I can push some text to this server. I can say hello, and then I will copy the code schema to handle the error. We can import the log module, and I will also create a client service. You can create a client service like web service client service, and then you can say the client service similar to the WebSocket server service, so you can get a copy of this. I will have up to the on-close resource, so I will copy this, and here I paste it, and then I don't need this configuration for the WebSocket service, and it won't be bound to any service listener, so it will be a service. So I will close this and add a colon, and then the difference from the server service is that it will take a WebSocket client instead of a caller. So I will change all occurrences, so it will be a WebSocket client I will finish it, and then I can import this value. So on open resource is not there for WebSocket client service, so I have only on text and on close, and you can have on binary also to receive binary data. Same for the WebSocket server service. We don't have on open resource because as soon as the connection is established, we have means to make sure that we can execute the next line here rather than having to call the service. So you can have the on error resource also if you want. So and then I will set the config here. I will set the service as a configuration file, callback service is a client service. Let me format this file. So we have the client ready. So this won't be a echo service, so I won't be having this. This will simply print the received text. So we can run the client now. Client is pushing hello. So I can build Ballerina build. Once it has built, I can run Ballerina target client.ballex. Sorry, this should be Ballerina run. So you can see as soon as the connection is established, this sent this welcome message. So once it receives the welcome message, it sends the hello. So hello is echoed back. It says connection established and says received hello, and it says it echoes back that hello. So we get hello here, and it's printed as received hello. So this connection is now again closed. This is because and as soon as 20 seconds is passed, this on idle timeout is triggered, so it will close the connection. So we get this message, our connection to the client has been terminated now after 20 seconds. That's how easy it is to develop a client and WebSocket client and server using Ballerina, and you can dockerize this in similarly quite easily. So for more details on how WebSocket works in Ballerina, you can check out the examples here on WebSocket on the Ballerina website, and you can we have one guide on Ballerina WebSocket, you can follow it, and I have a extensive list of blogs on WebSocket. You can go to my blog here on riafa.wordpress.com and you can learn all about WebSocket, and I'll be keep adding them. And also one fact to notice, we have made WebSocket much spec compliant, so you can try it out and give us feedback.